you want to hold this? You want to take this lead?
I was asked by Ellen, Sharon, Glory, their respective Rick and Mark, if I would read something that they, as a family, had composed in memory of their dad and husband. A few quotes were the first thing they sent from people at the time of Stu's death, and they would like those read. He was always so sweet and interested in what we had to say. It was such a pleasure to talk to him. Another read. No pretentiousness, no head issues, no drama. He was always there for his friends, the community, and was a wonderful tennis player. Another reads, we've lost a true friend, a dear gentleman, and an overall wonderful human being. Stu was one of a kind, a gentleman, and a wise advisor. Stu was a very fine and intelligent man, and we will miss him terribly. We've been privileged to have known him, another read. He will always remember him with a smile on his face. Those were 6 quotes that apparently they felt meaningful for Stu. It goes on, their message goes on with their own thoughts, I believe, but yet I think they will echo our thoughts. It is nearly impossible to describe the gravity of the loss felt with the passing of Stu Weber. We were all very blessed to have known him and have been part of his life for so many years. Stu was an amazing man, intelligent, caring, kind, selfless, engaging, and loving. He was a truly accomplished, well-educated man who never hesitated to share his knowledge with anyone who approached him. He was a beloved husband, father, brother, uncle, and mostly to all, a friend. His sense of humor, laid-back demeanor, and huge smile will be missed by everyone. Although it has only been a few weeks, we really miss Stu greatly, and we will cherish our memories forever, and we'll keep him close to our hearts. And that's from Ellen, Sharon, Glory, Rick, and Mark.
Thank you, Barbara. Would anyone else like to come forward and help us remember Stu? April, I'm going to ask you to come up to the microphone for those in our group, increasingly, that are hard of hearing.
For me, what I guess I most remember is the beautiful couple Ellen and Stu always were. They're always holding hands, something kind of unbelievable after so many years of marriage. And they were just like, they enjoyed each other's company and always seemed so in sync with one another. I just found them to be a beautiful role model of what a married couple should be. I also just want to say that they were such a meaningful part of the community. They did so much. Stu, for so many years, took care of so many things, always quietly. You didn't even know, that it was he. And Alan taking care of the blackboard for all those years, bulletin board. And of course, Luzerne was such an important part of them. So it doesn't seem like the same place without Stu, here and without Stu.
Thank you, April. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'll say something.
Yeah, I just want to say how, I was always very fond of Stu, but my mother especially was very fond of Stu, and when she was president for so many years, he was a main part of her kitchen cabinet. I forget what he was. Was he vice president? And but she relied on him a lot and was very, very kind of him. And I just want to speak for her because I know that if she were here, she'd be saying a lot more than this.
Thank you, Anne. Julie?
It sounds as if Stuart were some kind of a saint, and he was, but something about me brought out his that funny, delicious devil side. He always had an underhanded joke for me, or make fun of my accent, or I'd make fun of his accent, or he'd make fun of me for being Irish, I'd make fun of him for being Jewish. But my favorite thing about Stuart is the nickname that I began to use for him about 20 years ago, and I think he came to be very fond of it, although, of course, Stuart acted as though he hated it. It came from a friend of mine in Denver, also named Stuart, who was a newspaper reporter back in the days when you actually typed in a byline, and one day someone accidentally typed his name as Stu Rat. So I began calling Stuart Weber Stu Rat, and I thought it really fit the side of him that I loved, and that was his rat side, and I'm very sorry I loved him.
This really hurts. The guy lived next door to me for 50-some odd years, and we never had a problem. Easygoing, biting sense of humor. You never knew what he was saying, whether he meant it or he was kidding. Plain kidding. Handy, always thinking, very smart guy as far as his field was concerned. I used him rather than a doctor sometimes when I wanted to know about medication. He was never too busy. We used to see him in Florida as well. So every time I walked for myself, I walked out to my car and looked.
Patricia?
I don't have to come forward, I only want to say that I miss him.
And I think we would all second that statement. Stu will very much be missed in this community and remembered and appreciated for all that he gave to us, both what he did for the community and what he did for each of us personally. And then we have Jay Boschek.